Hey guys, what is this? Excuse my makeup today. It's a bit of a mess, especially the eyeliner. It's just not cute, but I did it like 3 times, so we're just gonna leave it how it is. Anyway, today is, how many days before results day? I think it's Tuesday, results day is Thursday, so it's like 2 days away. Whatever your definition of days is, whatever. And as of yesterday, I burnt all of my GCSE stuff, all of my revision, blah blah blah. So I thought this would be the best time. Why am I holding this up like you know what it is? The best time to film this video. Yeah, that took ages for me to say. Okay. So basically, this video is my GCSE experience / advice / what I did. This is gonna go up like next week, however. So yeah, this is basically my advice to the new year 11s. Obviously, I don't know what I got yet. I will have a results day video up already by the time this goes up, and I'll be in the cards, which is either side. I don't know which. But there are 5 categories in this. Sorry, I wrote them all down because usually when I do chatty videos, I just chat bollocks for ages, so I wrote down what I want to say. Okay, so I've got a few things that I want to talk about, which I'm going to. So we'll start off with the number one thing that you need to focus on more than anything is your mental health. GCSE's destroyed me and a lot of my friends' mental health because you feel guilty for prioritising it. There's like a lot of pressure. This is what I mean. This is why I write things down. I don't know what to say. I think if you feel like you need to take a break, then take a break, because if you don't, then you're going to be putting so much pressure on yourself. You're going to be feeling, don't feel guilty either. Oh my gosh, that was like the number one thing I did. Whenever I wasn't doing anything, I'd feel so guilty. Just remember that more than anything, you need to be okay. You need to, like, obviously trying is important, but I think the thing is you put so much pressure on yourself to do incredible that you forget that your life does have other aspects and you need time for yourself just to do things that you enjoy. And if you're enjoying things and feeling guilty about them, you'll fall out of love with them, which is kind of what happened with me on YouTube. So yeah. Basically, just remember, mental health is always your number one priority. No matter what, like GCSEs, yeah, cool, whatever, but if you're not okay, that's more important than anything else. Personally, as I said, my mental health was destroyed by GCSEs. By February, it was just like, I was a mess. I'd say I learned from my mistakes, but I don't really know what I did. GCSEs become a massive blur once you've done them, honestly. This is why I'm filming this video now. A lot of people do these kind of videos after a while when they've had year 12, but they become biased. So that's why I'm doing it now. Yeah, that's just what I have to say. Your mental health comes first, more than anything. I know that is so cliche and everyone says it, and you'll ignore it probably, but trust me on this, I ignored it, and I regret it so much because it took me about a month to recover, per se, which is stupid. They shouldn't be that stressful for 16, 15-year-olds, but they are. So the next section is how I revise, which is kind of ironic because I just told you not to revise too much, but basically, for different subjects, you will need to revise in different ways based on the resources that you can collect, and you need to be ready for that. So, I'm going to take you through the different subjects and how I personally revised them. These are the resources I have. This is how I revise with the resources I have. Obviously, if you have different resources, you need to revise differently. Do that. Obviously, I don't do every subject either, so I don't really know what to say. Like, if you, like, I think, like, writing subjects kind of group together and things like that, so just work it out. So, for the sciences, which was, like, I revised more than anything. I don't, do you know what the funny thing is I don't need sciences for my A-levels. I'm not doing any sciences. I'm doing sociology, but you don't need science for that. So I don't know why I did. I've always wanted to do well in them because I feel like a lot of people judge your character based off how good you are at science. That's really weird and fakey, but you get what I mean. Okay, so what I did is, so I had my revision guides. I think I've got one over there. I might show you in a sec. And I just wrote notes from every single page. Honestly, it takes a long time. But when you get into the swing of things, it takes you about 20 minutes to do a page. It took me about 20 minutes. It took my friends about 20 minutes to do a page. So yeah, it will take a while to like get the hang of it, and each page will take about an hour to start with. That's when you need to start in January, I'd say. A lot of people say start at different times. It really does depend on you. A lot of people say start from the beginning of the year. I completely disagree. Do not start from the beginning of the year. There's no point. You will finish content way too early. I say start January based on how fast you work, because I started in February. I was supposed to start in January. I didn't. Sorry, this has gone off on a tangent. I started in February, even though I should have started in January, and all my friends finished before me because they started earlier. Got a bit stressful, so yeah, don't judge by the amount of work you've done against what your friends have done, because that just, whoa. Okay, so yeah, I made notes from all the different like pages, every page, and then about a week before, I think I started doing this. It kind of did get to like the day before I'd read them all, but I'd start reread all of your notes, all of them. I'd just like to say here, having got my results, I would read your notes multiple times. I only read them once. I didn't do badly. Obviously, go watch my results video. But I didn't do badly. It's just I wish I'd have done a bit better. Yeah, so I would read your notes multiple times, more than the week before. Obviously, whenever you finish them, just start rereading them. The chapters are set out, so half of them are in paper 1, half of them are in paper 2. Makes it a lot easier. Obviously, read the notes for that paper a week before the exam, yeah, rather than just all the notes. There's no point. Make flashcards as you go through the notes as well. I didn't do that. I had no flashcards, but I would do that. Make flashcards as you go through. I've had this advice for A-levels as well. As you go through writing the notes, write your flashcards so you can test them at the end. The day before, I'd say, you can do past papers before this as well, but do past paper the day before. I ignored everyone's advice on past papers, and then it got to them, I was like, hey, everyone says they're good, I'm going to do them. Honestly, I would not have done as well. Obviously, I don't know how I've done, but I think I've done okay. I wouldn't have done as well if you hadn't done past papers, and that applies to every subject. Yeah, that's basically what I did with the sciences. I just did some review pages and things like that. Everything your school gives you is for a reason. If they give you like review sheets and stuff, do them once you finish doing your notes and stuff. Don't do any past papers or anything like that before you finish your notes, because then you won't know all the content and it annoys you, because you'll feel like you're doing really bad, and then you get stressed out. Yeah, that became kind of like general advice for revision, but that's basically the sciences. Maths, I'm not gonna lie, I revised maths the day before, and that was it, and I really do regret that. What I would say is, I think my maths watch, things like that, while they're annoying, they're probably incredibly helpful. Again, I wouldn't know. I looked at a past paper the day before, and that was all I did for maths. Honestly, if you can go to any revision sessions for maths, I think you should, because for me, when the concepts are explained, they make a lot more sense than if I'm just on my own and I like look it up. So revision sessions, again, past papers, practice questions, they're probably the best thing you can do. I think that was the problem with me in maths. I didn't know how to revise it, and I got a bit cocky, to be honest. I'm quite good at maths, so I was just like, I'll be fine. I'll put on screen what grade I got in maths. I don't know. So English. How we're revising it. A lot of people... Okay, so I retain information quite easily. So I was quite good at remembering plots and context and things like that. I think if you don't know that, revise that. And make sure you know the plot of your books and things like that, and what all your poems mean and the basic stuff like that. Context is important. You need to lace that throughout your essays. Like, okay, Han. You need to know the context of when your book was written. Obviously, if it's applicable, all the poems, you probably need to know context. All the books, you would need to know context based on, yeah, I'm trying to think what books I did. Okay, so my books were Much Ado About Nothing, Animal Farm, and Jekyll and Hyde. I needed to know context for all of them. Apparently, for Inspectacles, there's not a lot of context, so it should be quite easy if you do that, but, well, not easy, but, yeah, you need to know context. It doesn't have to be deep, like, a lot, but you need to know, like, why, when it was written, whether it had a purpose, things like that. A lot with the poems, you need to look at double meanings and things like that. You need to just revise that. I think own research is probably the best for English. You can get revision guides if you want, but I have one. I have a spare Much Ado revision guide. If anyone wants it, I will just, like, give it to you. I don't need any more. I think the best thing, and I know it's so annoying, the best thing to do for English is essays, practice questions, practice papers. Honestly, I've never had a problem with this, but if you have a problem with time management, you really do need to practice, because while there's only about, like, what, two questions in your first paper and 4 questions in your second paper, they take a long time to write. You really do need to, like, make sure you have enough time. I had the perfect amount of time, but yeah, I think the best thing you can do for English is practice questions. Oh, and you need quotes from your books. You need to memorise. I'm telling you, memorise quotes completely. Flashcards with quotes on are really good. What I did, I burnt them yesterday, but I can explain. So I had flashcards, and I wrote a quote on one side, and on the back it had the book, the like theme that it fit into, the character that had said it, or like whatever, the time it was said, and I think that was it. For poems, I think you need to pick poems that are easily comparable. So I only did Power and Conflict, but these are the ones I remembered: Bayonet Charge, Kamikaze, and Storm on the Island. I think they're the ones I did. I think I chose like about 7 or 8 quotes from each. The reason you have to pick 3 is because they might not fit in. You might not be able to compare it to the poem that you're given. And what if one of them comes up that you've been given? That's why you choose 3. They're hard if you don't understand them, don't get me wrong, but if you have the quotes, it is just like anything else. And honestly, I think it's a lot easier than the books, because you don't really need to know like a whole entire plot. So yeah, that's how I revise for English. History, what did I do? Oh, we got given little revision packs for each subject. So I do AQA, and not a lot of people do AQA. So if you do only have like 3 topics, good for you. I had 4 and very short exams. So I think most people do these subjects, a lot of people do like a little bit different, but I did Germany, conflict in like basically the 20th century, but there was like a short time gap, but it doesn't matter. Medicine through time, which I think most people do, and Elizabethan England. So, I would go through the pack again, write out notes from every page. Again, I will say do your flashcards while you do your notes, because I did not. I made my flashcards the like week, maybe even like 3 days before. Yeah. I think with history, you need to know your stats, like that's like number one thing in exam questions. Own knowledge. You answer the question, but you need to use your own knowledge. You need to obviously know like all events, every large event. Obviously I don't know for other examples, again this is just AQA. You have these write-in account questions. You have to know how you would answer those questions for different events. Very important. Also ask your teachers how to answer every question. There is a different way to answer every different question. That is the number one thing for history. If you don't know how to answer the question correctly, you are not going to get the best marks. Honestly, that is my best advice to you. Make sure you know how to answer the questions. That will easily get you a pass. Yeah, that's how I revise for history. I didn't reread my notes. You might want to watch videos. History is my favourite subject, hence I did a lot of work. But yeah, practice questions, so important. Making sure you know how to answer the questions correctly, how to answer in the best way possible. That is my number one piece of advice. Obviously, know all the content, know all the stats, but that is it. That's my best advice for you. Music. I did music. Yeah. I'd love to tell you how I revised, but I don't know. I didn't really. I think, obviously the usual, I think I'd make note, if I did it again, I would make notes from the textbook and do flashcards. I did have a few flashcards actually. Your set works, obviously you need to know the key things about it. I would make flashcards on that. Maybe a mind map, possibly, that'd be quite good. I did Equidas or Educas. I think it's Educas, I don't know what it's called. A lot of people I know did AQA or EdXL. But yeah, I'd love to tell you how I revised for music, but I didn't. I read the textbook about 4 times briefly, like 3 days before. Don't do what I did, revise for all subjects. German, practice questions, again. Yeah, that's like, I'm not very good at German. I didn't really revise for German. German was my first exam. I had my German speaking exam in like early April, and mid-April maybe. But yeah, that is the best. Just practice questions, and I would do flashcards with vocab on. I know a lot of people that did this. One of my friends, there are these little flip books. You put the German word one side, English word on one side. Vocab is so important. If you understand the question and you understand how to answer it, that's going to help you a lot, obviously. I also did textiles. For textiles, it is 60% coursework. Oh my god, put 100% effort into your coursework if you want a good grade. Trust me, I've got my coursework marks. I know them already. I got 73 out of 90. I put more effort in. I put more effort in than anybody I know. So that's why it bugged me so much. It doesn't come, I don't think textiles comes naturally to me, even though it was my favourite subject. Can you tell that I'm wearing pyjama bottoms? Yeah, I have dance, so I just needed to put a top on and then I got to get changed. But, yeah, put 100% effort into your coursework because that's going to bring your grade up. So I've just told you about my coursework. I don't actually know, I've just realised my textiles was the old GCSE and it has completely changed. So I can't actually tell you that much about it. I'll tell you what I did anyway, but I don't know what to say. If you still have coursework, I don't know if you do, but if you do, put 100% effort in. I'm telling you, if you can go to any lunch sessions, go to them. After school sessions, go to them. Half-term sessions, go to them. Get your shit done.
I just cringed so hard. My heart fell out of me. I hate myself.
So, for the exam, what I did was, I had a textbook again. They're quite small, mine was. I don't know whether the new GCSE is, because I think that's more exam-y than mine was. I don't know whether you still have a design task at the front either. It's completely different content, I know that much. And it's very difficult. It's much more difficult than mine was, which is kind of funny because mine was so hard. But if you do have a design task, prepare designs before. I didn't do that. Oops. Make sure you prepare designs for the thing you're given first. I don't know whether you are given it, but that's just what I did. I did similar things that I did with science. I wrote out all my notes. I should have made flashcards. Make flashcards. I'm telling you, flashcards are your best friend during GCSEs. You need to write them out. Every time you finish a page, every time you finish like a session, write out flashcards from the pages. Star like bullet points that you want to make flashcards out of. I began to do that and then stopped. Carry on, do it the whole time. Again, practice papers. They're probably the best thing. There is, for the new GCSE, for textiles anyway, you will have specimen papers rather than past papers, which are ones that the exam board has made, rather than ones other people have taken. Luckily for all your other subjects, pretty much, unless you do business, which is what I'm going to talk about next, you will have past papers from my year group and specimen papers that we got given. Yeah, past papers, best friends, honestly. Yeah. Okay, business then. Again, I didn't really revise for business, but business apparently, new GCSE is extremely hard, a lot harder than it was for me. Again, business flashcards, incredible. Make flashcards out of everything. If you can, find a revision guide, get a revision guide. I did not. I just went to all my business lessons. Honestly, that was it. Because I didn't have a textbook, I used my notes from my books that I made, so make sure you keep your business notes neat. Speaking of which, I found some more notes that I'd made in like year 9 and 10 that I'd forgotten about and came from my GCSE and I didn't know anything about, so that's really good. Make sure you've got all of them. Revise from them. I think if you can't get a like textbook or revision guide, revise from your business books, because you will have learned the content. And if you haven't, speak to your teacher. If you can borrow textbooks, borrow textbooks. But yeah, obviously just make notes, reread the notes, do past papers. Or yeah, past papers for business. If you're not getting good marks, then you need to know. You need to do past papers. And that is all the subjects and how I revised for them. That was a long segment, but I think that might be the most useful. So yeah, the next thing I'm going to talk about is, I don't really know how to describe this. I've got written down the amount, no, that's not what happened during. So, during my GCSEs, as I said, because of mental health reasons, I was a bit of a wreck. I had things that happened before. Shall I tell you like the general idea, or? Yeah, okay, so I had a bit of boy trouble before. Don't do that. Let me tell you, 6 months before, if you're not in like a happy, stable relationship, don't start something new. Don't start liking someone new. It's not a good idea. If you're having trouble, people probably won't be there for you, especially that are in your year group, because everyone is so, in the nicest way possible, self-absorbed. during exams. Everyone's thinking about themselves, they want to do the best for themselves, which is fine, but I will say, maybe try be there for your friends a little bit, because everyone's going through the same shit and everyone needs help. So, yes, during exams, your life does not stop, okay? It's not a month where nothing happens. There's still like family dramas, relationship dramas, friendship dramas. I'm sorry, I'm getting really heated. You cannot cut yourself off completely, because things still go on and things are still going to affect you and you still have to deal with them the same way. And you don't have the time to, but they still happen and you have to expect that. You can't just imagine that your entire life is going to be school for a month, because life goes on, honestly, and it does make it a bit more, it makes it a lot more difficult. You have to treat situations the same as if you weren't in the middle of like a very important time in your life. Okay, the next thing I've got to talk about is amount and difficulty. So this kind of links in with the how I revise section slightly, maybe, I don't know. Okay. Depending on your subjects and whether you've taken more GCSEs or BTECs, you will have different amounts of exams. I know people, so my friend Yasmin, she had, I think she had 29, because she did 2 languages, which made a full-on 8, and then, yeah, she had a lot. We'll just say that. She had a lot of exams. But again, my friend Martha, she had, I think she had 10 or 11, because she did some BTECs, and yeah, I think that was the main reason. And then she took some in year 10 as well, like childcare and stuff. So your different subjects, you will have different amounts, different people, blah blah blah. Is my chest red? Yes, I just rubbed it. So it will seem very, very full on. There is a lot. There's no way of avoiding it. There is a lot of exams if you have a lot of exams, as I said. 10 does seem like a lot to someone that hasn't done lots at once, but I think I had 22. Maybe I had more. But yeah, it is a lot of exams, and after about 10 you will feel like you have done 50, but they go quite quickly when you're in them, because you're working the whole time. If you're like about 10 minutes, unless you finish early, then the next like hour or 20 minutes or however early you finished, does feel like about 3 days, but yeah. I think I've got down difficulty. I think the thing here with difficulty is, for me personally, for the majority of my exams, I didn't find them that difficult. However, that is because I put the work in. If you don't put the work in, they're gonna be hard. But if you do, then they'll feel a lot easier. You will know how to answer all the questions. Yeah, that's like all I have to say, is they're not that hard when you put the work in. The more work you put in, the easier the actual exam. The most difficult thing about GCSEs is revising content. That's why you need to make sure you know all the content during, okay, because I had to reteach myself a lot. To round this video up, obviously this is based on my experience of GCSEs, but to round this video up, I have 5 pieces of main advice for you. Number 1, take breaks when you need them. This ties into mental health. If you are not taking breaks, 1, your brain will just go. It will not be focused, okay? And 2, you'll be tired and sad and moody. Yes, this is based on my experience. I was awful, so please just take breaks. Make sure that you are okay in yourself. Don't get stressed out. Don't compare the amount of work you've done to others. Just take breaks. Just please, because they're so important. Stay organised as possible. I did not. This is again another thing that caused my complete mare. Stay organised. Make sure you have, oh wait, that's the next one, never mind. Just keep all your stuff nice. Make sure you have everything that you need in the right places. Make sure that you know where to go if you're looking for something. Put everything in the same place. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say. Do revision cards, things like that. You just need to stay organised. It will make sure make your brain like be a lot more focused and ready. This one again kind of ties in. Oh wait, they're the same one. Sorry. Planning goes in with staying organised. Yeah. Planning is honestly the best thing you can do. Plan what work you're going to do. Write it down. Oh my god, write down what work you're going to do. Tick it off once you've done it. If you've done everything you need to in one day, trust me, you will feel so good. Write down everything you need to do. Plan what you're going to do for certain exams. Plan how you're going to revise for your different subjects. Honestly, that is the best thing. Plan how you are going to revise for your different subjects. Plan what work you're going to do, tick it off when you've done it. Just make sure that you know what you're doing when you're doing it, because, wow, I've just had an epiphany. When you can plan the work you're going to do towards an exam, it removes an uncertainty in your life, and you have a lot of uncertainty during exams. So it helps you, it helps your revision go smoothly, it helps your brain process better. Planning is the best thing you can do more than anything. Okay, this is like quite a basic one, but write everything down. I mean everything. As I said, music, I just read. No, you need to write. Maybe this might not be your best way of working, but you can't, like, write down, reread it, write down, read out loud, listen to it. Just write down if that's your way of learning. Obviously there's 3 different types of learners, that's why I just listed them, but you need to write everything down. You will not remember everything you need to do, everything you need to know. That came out really aggressively. Write everything down, please. I beg of you, write it all down. Okay, this is just another big piece. Practice papers, I've said this. You can't learn content, go into the exam and expect to know how to answer the questions. The way to answer the questions will get you more marks than knowing the actual content. That's the loophole there. That's why you do practice papers. Again, I could have not done as well as I think I have done in my exams than if I hadn't done practice papers. So do them. Before my last science exam, which was, I'm pretty sure, physics, maybe chemistry paper 2, I couldn't be bothered. So what I did was I just looked at the questions, thought in my head, maybe said out loud how I thought I would answer them, and then I'd look on the mark scheme and then like check off like all the different things that were on the scheme. My last piece of advice doesn't link into anything I have said, but you need to be prepared to buy more shit. So, oh my god, this, if someone had told me this, because it really bugged me when I had to buy more stuff, but this is number one for me. You need to be prepared to buy more stuff. You will probably need more folders, more paper, more pens as you go through. So just, you can try and buy everything you need before. Sorry, I'm always looking into the viewfinder in my videos. I want to look into the camera. You will buy so much stuff and it will not be enough. You need to be prepared to buy everything more, because it bugged me how, okay, so just for example, I went from my, okay, sorry, I got distracted again. For music and history, I had to buy like lever arch files instead of ring binders halfway through the year. That really bugged me, but you have to do it. You will run out of paper. I ran out of paper. I had to go buy more paper. Lucky for me, I have masses and masses of stationery that I've used up over the last like 10 years of my life, so I was fine when it came to like pens and things. But you'll need more flashcards, you will need to buy more things. That is just, please prepare your brain for that, because if you aren't ready to buy more things, it's going to bug you when you have to, because you'll think you'll get tired and you'll be like, oh my god, I've done so much work, and it tricks your brain. Anyway, you need to be prepared to buy more things. How many times am I going to say that? And that is my GCSE experience / advice. So I hope this video helped some of you that are going into year 11, maybe this year or next year. Don't watch this before year 10, please. There's no point. Watch this before you go into year 11. Okay, so yeah, I hope this video was helpful. If it wasn't, sorry, I was a bit of a wreck. And yeah, obviously if you want to know what I got in my GCSEs, it will be somewhere, it'll be down below, it will be linked on screen now as it was earlier, and it will be like 2 videos back maybe. So if you are curious, yeah, go have a look. I don't know right now because it's 2 days before results day, but yes, I hope that everything goes smoothly for you. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. And to all my fellow people that got their results recently, obviously I haven't got them yet, they're getting them, got them, I don't know how to use here. Congratulations or commiserations. If it's commiserations, it's not the end of the world. There's other routes that you can go without GCSEs, but they are important, so do try. Yeah. I'm going to go now and stress about results day for about 10 years, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe please. I'm going to be doing some more back to schooly videos if you're interested, and I usually do makeup things. Sometimes I switch it up a lot of the time. Anyway, yeah. Good luck to everyone in life. Yeah.